Fresh is a new Hulu original horror movie. It was released on March 4th, so last Friday. Definitely not the biggest release to be released on that day, but it's still out there. I still wanted to check it out. I'd already seen the Batman and reviewed it, obviously. So yeah, here we go with Fresh. So this was directed by first-time director Mimi Cave. From everything that I saw, this was her first movie. Original Hulu horror movie starring Sebastian Stan. And obviously a couple other people. He's not the main character in this, but he's the only notable name that I can really remember, or people I recognize in this movie. So I was kind of looking forward to this thing. I didn't know anything about it going into it, and I think that's the best way to experience this movie, as I'll get into it in a little bit. But I saw like one or two trailers on TikTok and maybe one on YouTube. And the trailer does not really give anything away that this movie is. There's one poster I saw out there that does, which is obnoxious. But anyway, this is a movie I came into completely blind, not knowing what it was really about or anything other than Sebastian Stan was involved, and it was a new Hulu original horror movie. Okay, so we're gonna restart there. So Fresh, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I ended up really, really liking it. No, I'm not gonna say borderline loving it because I really didn't. I just thought this was a really, really solid, really good Hulu original horror movie. This is the kind of Hulu original that I've been kind of craving for in a while, and I don't want to use that word for describing this movie, but just a movie that I've really been wanting from these streaming originals. It just feels like a lot of them have been misfire after misfire, after boring, after standard, after blech. Especially with like No Exit, which just came out, the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, Kimmy. It's just been a whole lot of nothingness that has come out of 2022 so far, and I'm really glad we're getting better streaming content, because we got a lot of good streaming content last year. I mean, most of the movies that came out last year had to be on streaming services at one point or another. And I don't know, I'm very much here for more streaming service content being available, and more streaming service content, original content. I think that's their prime use for me, because obviously you can see over here I'm a pretty big Blu-ray guy, and I like physical media and stuff like that. But I think where I really come to these streaming services is for originals, and movies like this need to happen more often, because people are going to start to get sick of streaming services like Hulu and like something like an Amazon Prime, where their originals are really not up to snuff and really not up to the same quality or even quantity as stuff like Netflix or HBO Max. HBO Max more so has the quality, well, not yet, I guess, with its original content. With its overall content, it definitely has the best quality, but not with its original content yet. I would say Netflix definitely is still the winner in that circle. They're not the best technically. I don't know. I would have to look at the originals comparatively, but they definitely have the most and the most variety. So I feel like streaming services like Hulu need to push more stuff like this. And they are now, which is good, but they need to push more movies like this to really set them apart. So anyway, I really, really did like Fresh. I thought Sebastian Stan's performance really stands out in this movie. He's excellent and really gets under your skin and really plays a creepy ass dude. That's kind of a spoiler, but not really. I feel like you could assume that. But his antagonistic character in this movie really is unsettling, and he kind of embodies the role and really is chewing up the scenery in the best way possible. I don't think he's overacting. I don't think he's being hammy in any way. I just think he really is having a lot of fun with this role and really going for it. And it comes off as really deeply unsettling. And the main character, the girl, I don't know her name, but her name's Noah in the movie. She was really, really solid. I didn't think she was that great to begin with. She was a little bit of a blank slate at first, but once the movie went on and once we got to know her more, I really, really enjoyed her performance. But yeah, Sebastian Stan, he's a phenomenal actor. He's really good in anything that he's in, and I thought he was great in this movie as the main antagonist. I love the interesting camera work and kind of batshit insane tone and craziness of this movie that Mimi Cave actually brings to it, the director. I am very much going to have her on my radar from now on because I think she did a phenomenal job with this movie, especially with her specific work behind the camera, with the tonal shifts, with the overall editing and feel of the movie. Just her imprints are all over this movie. You can definitely tell that she had a hand in a lot of this film, and I really, really do, especially her camera work. Her and the cinematographer of this movie really, really did something special with how the movie was laid out, how the movie was shot, because it could have very much been a by the books horror Hulu thriller that was like, oh, that had a cool story, but man, it had a lot of flat technical side. The technical side of the movie was really flat, and the cinematography was really boring, and the direction really didn't stand out in any way. There's just a sea of those kinds of movies out there, but this movie definitely stands out, and I like it a lot more for how creative and how stylized the direction really is. Just wanted to give a little credit to Daisy Edgar Jones. She is the lead actress in this movie, the main protagonist, and just wanted to throw that out there. I just researched her name. I didn't want to I don't know, not give her credit. She really did a phenomenal job in this movie. The twists and turns felt kind of predictable at first, maybe even on purpose. Kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of saw that coming. I saw that coming. This movie is heading in the direction of what I thought it was going to be, kind of a standard thriller. But then it hits its main premise. Like you find out like really what this movie's about, and just, whoa. Okay, and it really gets deeply unsettling. This movie didn't necessarily creep me out, but it skeeved me out, if that makes any sense. It really got under my skin and made you be in the moment with the character and really put you through these uncomfortable and kind of nasty moments of horror, a lot of body horror, a lot of psychological horror that just really gets under your skin in the best way possible. This movie is going to make some people kind of grossed out. If you're not into more body horror or stuff like that, you're not going to really like it. But for those who can stomach that and those who enjoy movies that really do get under your skin and make you uncomfortable, this is definitely something to check out. I really did love the ending and how crazy it all plays out to be. It's a little derivative of Get Out, I think. Towards the end, it kind of takes beats from movies like that a little more than I hoped it would have. But I really did enjoy the ending. I think the storytelling and the overall script here was really, really solid. My few negatives are the humor that was kind of infused throughout the movie. They were definitely going for more of a horror comedy-ish, a little bit. There was little elements of horror comedy kind of sprinkled throughout this movie. This movie is a deconstruction of rom-coms, and a lot of it's like a spin on that. Something could go really wrong in the dating scene. You get it. But I feel like it's for sure more of a straightforward horror movie than it's giving itself credit for, and I think that works definitely. And but the few moments that they were trying to infuse humor in, the few moments that they were trying to get a laugh out of the audience, kind of have some brevity from this really, really, really disturbing stuff that's being shown, it isn't really necessary. I feel like it was just put in there to be put in there, and I don't know. It really missed the mark for me, and it was enough in the movie to where I think it's this movie's major issue is the humor that was trying to be infused. And also the first 20 minutes really moved at a snail's pace and definitely could have been trimmed down to like 10 or 5 minutes. I understand that it was trying to lull you into a sense of security to get you to that inciting incident, I'll call it. But it really wasn't all that necessary. I didn't feel like that needed to be in there. So yeah, those are the two major flaws of this movie, and it never goes above and beyond its really solid horror movie goodness. I guess it's never like great, but it's highly entertaining and it's really solidly done. How it is, if that makes any sense. That I'm kind of talking myself into a hole here, but This movie isn't phenomenal, but it has really good stuff in it, and it is just a solid horror movie throughout. Skipping the first 20 minutes, it is a really, really good, on getting under your skin, uncomfortable, well directed horror film that I really want to see more of. I want to see more horror movies know what they are and just go for broke. Not try to be more than that. Not try to like make a statement. Not try to be elevated horror, which there is room for that. I do love elevated horror. I'm not one of those people that like, oh, bring classic horror back. I love both sides. I'm on both camps here, but I feel like there is very much a side for this middle ground that pulls from both, and I really, really do recommend Fresh. I'm gonna give it a light B plus. So yeah, I really did enjoy this movie. It kind of got over the hump of just being a B and just being, oh yeah, it was a cool horror movie by being as well made and creative as it is. And Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones, I hope I got that right. Their performances really both pushed it over the top as being something different from the pack. So yeah, I really liked Fresh. A lot more than I thought I was going to. So let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments. And I will see you when I see you with the next review. See you guys.